Hi guys, in this episode of the Nostalgia Trip, I am once again gonna be reacting to a movie. In this case, being the cool sci-fi movie Polar Storm. Now, this movie also kind of counts as a disaster movie, but for the sake of having a movie covering a different genre that I like a lot, I'm gonna count this one as a sci-fi one because it's more about the sci-fi-ness of it rather than about the disaster necessarily, and it just feels more of like a sci-fi movie. It has to do with space. That's kind of my requirement for sci-fi, for movies being considered sci-fi. But yeah, like most things that I cover on the channel, this also has a special place in my heart because it is a movie that I remember watching when I was I don't know, like 10 years old, with my mom during a period where we used to every evening of the week we would sit down and watch something on TV that both of us enjoyed. In most cases it was either like a game show that was really entertaining and really cool and really enjoyed, or movies, because on a certain day of the week there was a new release of like a cinematic disaster movie, because we both used to be into those kind of movies back then, and we still are, but we used to too. So this is one of the more memorable and better movies from that period of time, and I really like it. I obviously don't necessarily want to get into like the plot of it because I do remember a lot of it, but it's a really interesting sci-fi movie that also has some really interesting characters. I really enjoy this movie in general, and I'm hoping that it's gonna hold up well. From what I've seen a little bit of it, the CGI doesn't quite look as good as I remember it, but I also don't necessarily remember it being like looking good when I was a child either. Like, it looked like CGI back then, but I feel like now it just looks bad. But I guess you're gonna find out as we get into it. And yeah, there's not really much to say about this. It's the first sci-fi movie that I'm covering on the channel, so that's gonna be interesting. Hopefully we're gonna get only better stuff from here onwards. But I guess before we get into this movie and find out how fun it's actually going to be, I do want to remind you that I would really appreciate it if you guys could help me out with my transition by donating to my Patreon or Ko-fi account, because for those of you who didn't know, I am trans. And by doing so, you also get access to the full-length version of this reaction, as well as all of the reactions that I do on the channel, which includes cartoons, anime series, short live-action TV series, long live-action TV series, and movie full-length reactions. Alternatively, you can also just stick with the YouTube version and simply like the video, but it is greatly appreciated if you do make the extra step of supporting me. Now we've gotten that out of the way, without further ado, let's get into Polar Storm in 3, 2, 1.
Only hours remain before Earth's magnetic field declines to zero. And as most of you know by now, once that occurs, solar radiation will destroy the atmosphere.
We're all gonna die.
God be with us all.
Yeah, I do remember that this movie does give you a little bit of a flash forward. Like, it gives you the situation and then it kind of builds up to where it starts off, like here. I love how all the cars being abandoned like this really reminds me of The Walking Dead.
Car off.
Oh yeah, man, I remember this. This is so sick.
I think it's gone.
I remember liking that kid. I might have to look up who he is. Honestly, the effects do not look as bad as I remember them. Okay, I get the stuff about the magnetic field, but why is there like an earthquake? At least it feels like there's an earthquake. Looks like it. Oh, that looks bad. He got burned from that phone? Really? Feels very Walking Dead-esque visually, at least. Yep, there's an earthquake. Okay, that kind of looks shit. Oh yeah! That stupid tease! But why is there a crack? Like, what does that have to do with, like, with the electromagnetic field?
Flights across the globe have been grounded for 24 hours, isn't it?
Good morning. Hey, Miss Penny.
Hey, Zen. Sorry, that's Cynthia's order in the fridge.
I heard.
Wait, who was that girl? Is it me or she looked like Stephanie from the Game Theorists?
Early so I can come. Right, Dad?
I suppose.
She looks so much like her. What the hell? Or am I thinking of somebody else? It could be too.
Hey, look, it's on TV.
Now, Doctor, can you explain why you believe it's possible that the comet could hit us when almost everyone else has predicted it will simply pass us by? Wait a minute, Lou. All I said was that you can't rule it out. I mean, look, having just passed the sun, gases in the comet's icy core will be heating up like a hot spring.
The scientist who nobody trusted or believed turns out to be right. What a cliche in disaster movies that is. Okay, that comment doesn't look half bad. Damn, that looks pretty.
Last 2 Cubans. Saving them for a special occasion.
That's against the law, you know.
Yeah, well, relax, Peter. We're in Alaska.
Well, the U.S. trade embargo says that no American citizen can smoke a Cuban cigar anywhere in the world.
Yeah, I fucking think those kind of laws are bullshit. Oh yeah, just because you're a citizen of this country, you cannot do this anywhere else. Fucking stop me. Try and stop me. That's bullshit, because it makes it seem like your country owns you, which I'm vehemently against that kind of concept.
Copy, James.
We are citizens of our countries, not owned by our countries. That's why I'm also against conscription.
Just as our planet has a magnetic field, so does the comet.
Gee, this comet's gonna pass through Pluto by the time this guy finishes.
Zoe, could you...
Man, I swear, everybody in the fucking early 2000s had these two kind of haircuts. Like the one which is like slightly longer and curled in the back like that, like what
Okay, so where do you imagine
Jared
this
Padalecki
is
used to have,
As
or
the
some of the
comet
more
and
like
the
bow
magnetic
cutty
fields
ones.
interact, creating intense bursts of electromagnetic
There was
waves,
no
which can
in
destroy
between.
modern technology.
Move it. Leave him alone.
Hey! 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 Stop it!
And you broke it. Good job, guys.
Stop it! Stop!
Good job.
Stop it!
This guy started it, Miss Penny.
No, it didn't. He was picking on him.
And I don't particularly care who started it. You're both paying for a new telescope.
Bad enough you married my father. Now I can't even get fair treatment in class.
Go wait by the washroom, Shane.
Oh, she's his stepmom?
The data is looking a bit fragmented.
I do remember something about that. I wasn't sure what their relationship was.
This is extraordinary.
Yeah, I don't think realistically a comet would affect us as much as this. Even if it actually passed this close. I think that's bullshit mumbo jumbo.
An electromagnetic storm from the comet is affecting our electricity.
Just had a surge in the electron acceleration. The field's EM levels are skyrocketing.
Radiation belts being pushed into the atmosphere.
Ma'am, are you reading this?
Yes, I see something in the tail.
It's a piece of it?
Copernicus is fragmenting.
Oh shit. Okay, that's one thing you don't want to hear if a comet or an asteroid is passing by our planet.
No, we can't see anything. Can you read the fragment specs?
It's gonna hit Earth.
Uh-oh. That's not good.
Use the belt's electron trajectory to triangulate a point of impact.
Working on it.
Don't tell me right where they are.
Latitude 51 and longitude 179. James, that's only 100 miles from where you are. James,
Fucking
did you
run.
hear what I said? Get out of there.
Notify IE.
What a fucking coinkydink.
Repeat.
Where's the projected point of impact?
I don't know. I lost her. Maybe I can amplify the signal.
I think you're gonna see it in about 5 seconds. Man, that must be terrifying. Asteroid destroying the planet used to fucking terrify me when I was a child. You know, one of the movies that kind of traumatized me or scared me the most when I was a kid was actually the movie 10.5 on Richter's scale, which might be something that I'm gonna cover eventually. Ooh, that's gonna be big. Yeah, I don't know if you're gonna manage to fucking escape. If you survive, it's gonna be because you are already pretty far.
James.
Don't worry, objects in the mirror might appear to be closer than they actually are. I'm really curious, how are you gonna survive this? Yep, he's dead. I love that he died, but the other guy is obviously not dead.
Damage and casualties have been coming in from Alaska, northern Canada, and eastern Russia. As the death toll rises, we are getting estimates that as many as 250,000 people may have perished in this history-making disaster.
Yep. First time humans died directly because of an asteroid.
Mayfield has miraculously survived the blast despite being within a few hundred miles of ground zero when the comet struck.
That's his main character power.
Hey, buddy.
Hey, Dad.
Oh, you okay?
Yeah.
Right now, it doesn't appear that there's anything that the public needs to worry about.
You could choke.
A 300-meter projectile hits the planet at 30 kilometers per second, and he's saying there's nothing to worry about?
Well, of course they would say that.
My science advisors have reported that the immediate crisis is over.
What is that terrible sound?
Electromagnetic interference. Yeah, so much for the immediate crisis is over.
Hey,
take cover.
So what is that about? I don't get the earthquake.
What?
They don't want you spreading unnecessary panic, I assume.
all the data we collected in Alaska and uploaded to government has been classified, and neither you nor I have the clearance to access it. In fact, we shouldn't even be talking about this right now. The whole department's under a gag order.
That tremor we just had was preceded by some kind of EM disturbance, which could mean that there's been serious damage to the magnetic field.
Yeah, I recorded an electromagnetic spike earlier, but I didn't know what caused it.
We need the comet data. Who classified it?
The administration.
Great.
I bet it was Republicans.
It's a political spin.
Well, maybe there really was some damage to the field, and they don't want to disclose it to the public.
Exactly.
We need to find out.
I hate when politics goes over science. Like when politics is controlling science. Fuck that shit, man.
What are you doing up on the roof?
Tracking the sun.
Why?
And why would you be tracking the sun?
It's not where it's supposed to be.
Why would you say that?
Yesterday the sun set behind Eagle Peak.
What do you mean? It's never set behind the peak.
Well, it did.
Exactly.
That's kind of scary though. Imagine seeing the sun like going down in a place where it's not supposed to. That's like terrifying on such an innate level, because it's just not something that it's something that your brain is so used to seeing. It should freak you out when it happens in a different location. Like imagine if it went from north to south instead of east to west.
You're here to pick up the stuff for your mom, right?
She's not enough.
Okay. Stepmom.
Hmm.
Hey, you have my sympathy. I'd die if my dad married one of my teachers.
Oh, I know.
Hey,
Oh, I realize why she's familiar to me. Wait, she's from Power Rangers too?
What is it?
And she's in Big Time Movie? In the Big Time Rush movie? What the hell? Oh my god, I apparently know her from so many things. This is the Yellow Ranger from Power Rangers Dino Thunder. It's Emma Lehana. Yep, that's her. I've seen her in like a dozen things. What the hell?
So, what's this great story that you got for me?
You remember how we used to come out here and watch all those sunsets?
Maybe that's what you came out here for. I was here for the babes and the booze.
Do you remember how this sundial was always right on the money?
Yeah, I remember.
Look at it now. Again, that's pretty terrifying. Alaska is beautiful though, I gotta say.
Hi, Shane.
Hey, Zoe. Look at my job.
Why are you with him when you clearly have a crush on Shane? I don't
buddy,
get
I
that.
got a little problem because of you. You see this car? My dad's making me sell it to pay for the stupid telescope you broke. We broke. Whatever, the point is...
I love how responsible Shane is.
How's that? Drag race. You and me. You win, I'll pay the $4,000 we owe for the telescope. I win. You pay.
Don't, Shane.
Not
Don't.
getting your ass whipped, are you?
Don't fall for it.
You wouldn't win. Ouch. You hear that? Greaser boy thinks you can beat me.
Why? Zoe, why are you with this douchebag? What the hell? Don't tell me that douchebag is gonna fall into the crack. That would be fucking perfect. Yep. Karma is a bitch. That does not look good whatsoever. Well, at least the boyfriend's dead now, so they can be together.
What is that?
Aurora Borealis.
Here? I thought those things only happened up north in places like Alaska.
Wait, this is not supposed to be Alaska, I'm an idiot.
Dr. Mayfield, what exactly is the problem with an axis tilt changing 10 degrees? I mean, so what if the sun sets 10 minutes later?
A shifted axis tilt means the Earth's axis of rotation is out of alignment with its magnetic poles. This could have serious consequences for the Earth's magnetic field, the seismic activity, the electromagnetic interference with communications that we've been experiencing. This could all be just the beginning.
It is the beginning.
Good morning, gentlemen.
Good morning, Mr. President.
Good morning, Mr. President. How are you, sir?
Okay, so this is definitely post 2008 because you have a black guy as the president, so it's supposed to be obviously a replacement for Obama.
Mayfield is my son.
And what the heck's he doing leaking classified information?
I'm sorry, sir, I'm not aware of his activities. We haven't spoken in nearly 5 years.
I'm saying. Well, maybe now would be a good time for a family reunion. Because if you can't put a muzzle on him, we will. A gag order is a gag order.
And it's unethical as all hell.
Your son,
Sir?
is he smart?
Yes, sir.
How smart is he?
Too smart for his own good, sir.
That's what it sounds like. You better bring him in.
Yes, sir.
Well, maybe it's more important to save the world than save his own fucking life, you fucking politician goose.
Dr. Mayfield, we need you to come with us to the airbase, sir.
Base? For what?
I don't know, sir. But we have an executive order to take you to the base. By force if necessary.
Go. Go. I'll find Shane.
You dead?
James.
Should have known you were behind this. Long time no see.
5 years, not so long.
I guess it just seemed long to me.
You've caused quite a stir in Washington.
How's that, sir?
Violating a government gag order, for one thing.
I didn't violate any gag order. That axis shift was my own research.
Don't play games with me, James.
I mean, he's right. He researched it. Fuck you.
You know full well the intent of a government gag order. Everything you worked on was classified.
The public has the right to that information.
It's not your call, James.
It's not. It
Your
shouldn't be the
science
government's
is
either.
policy. and scaring the American public is against this country's greater good. You think you're a good soldier. You're just a lapdog for political bosses.
Fuck yeah.
You'd probably shoot me yourself if they told you it would serve the greater good.
I like this guy.
I had the President of the United States tell me today that my son was a national security risk.
So what? He wants to burn me at the stake?
No. Lucky for you. He wants to hear you out.
Wow, the first politician to actually want to hear out a scientist.
What do you mean he wants to cover his ass?
The shift in the axis tilt caused slippage of the crust around the core. Consequently, the Earth is now out of alignment with its magnetic field, and the misaligned crust is causing increased seismic activity.
Temporary distortion of the magnetic field.
Answer me this then, Dr. Ellman. Why are polar auroras suddenly appearing in places they shouldn't?
Again, temporary distortion of the magnetic field.
How do you know it's temporary?
When there's a bad solar
If it's unprecedented development, how do you know it's temporary?
Aurora borealis?
Auroras normally occur when the Earth's poles attract solar particles. The fact that so many polar auroras are appearing elsewhere indicates that new magnetic poles are developing. I saw a polar aurora here last night. We are now sitting on a magnetic pole, which explains all the electromagnetic interference and the seismic activity we've been having.
Dr. Mayfield, many strange anomalies have occurred in modern times without catastrophic consequence. These,
Why are you so adamant that it's not a thing? Sometimes these kind of fucking scientists who think they know shit are so annoying.
Mr. President, many polls indicate a geomagnetic reversal has started. As the north and south poles disintegrate, the magnetic field they support will collapse. Static discharges will create electromagnetic shock waves, which will fry everything electronic. We will be thrown back into the Stone Age. The north and south poles will disappear, re-emerging at opposite ends of the globe, by which point our protective magnetic shield will be completely gone, exposing us to cosmic rays, which will incinerate the planet, just like what happened on Mars.
Dr. Mayfield, must we be so melodramatic?
Oh, fuck off!
I'm sure you can appreciate the need for thoughtful, rational discussion. However, your melodrama and sensational media appearances
God.
gives one the impression that your intentions are perhaps more to do with self-promotion.
Fuck you! I know what you are, but what is he, you fucking asshole?
What did you expect, James? You just told them the world was going to end. This is
And he's gonna be like, la 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 la, I can't see anything, I can't hear anything, nothing is happening.
We'll find out soon enough.
It's escalating.
Turn off the car.
He's very smart. It's gonna take them a while to figure it out. Oh my god. Jesus Christ. That is so corny though, the way they show that. You know, the worst thing is that a solar storm could actually cause shit like this. And apparently we're kind of like overdue for one. Jesus Christ. Whoa. Those are some big Aurora Borealis.
What just happened?
Oh my god, James. It was a massive 40 kilohertz EM pulse surge. Unlike anything we've ever seen.
40 kilohertz.
Yes. All the cities that were hit were blacked out. And not only that, most of the satellites in orbit got fried. What could possibly have created a surge like that?
A polar reversal.
Polar auroras.
Oh my god. All the hit areas are where the mini poles are.
And that's it.
It's a polar reversal.
Particles attracted by the poles are building up massive electrostatic discharges.
James? How do we stop this?
I don't know that we can.
Yeah, how do you stop a natural disaster like this?
Worldwide blackout in history. Well, we're going to see more of this. Give me the worst case scenario.
Mr. President, until we've assembled our teams, I don't want to speculate on something that's not my area of expertise.
Don't try to cover your ass with me, Doctor. We've got power outages across the country.
Hell yeah.
Our lives are at risk. So tell me to the best of your ability, are we going to see more of this?
Jesus.
I believe so, Mr. President. I have no choice but to declare federal martial law.
You know, this movie, not quite as good as I remember it. But to be honest, I don't remember it being like particularly good either. It felt like a made-for-TV movie even back then, you know. The kid's a good actor. He seems very familiar. I don't know where I've seen him. I guess I gotta check. His name is Tyler Johnston.
What's happening? Is the world falling apart?
Kind of, yeah.
No. I'm not going with you.
What do you mean?
I'm going back to the base.
He has to stop
What are you
this.
talking about? Why?
I have an idea, and I have to talk to the president. I don't want to, Sam. I don't see that there's a choice.
You know what? You're right. There is no choice because your family comes first.
The world comes first, sir.
I think you love him.
What are you talking about, Dad? You're coming, right?
I can't. I have to go back to the base.
I don't believe it. You're abandoning us?
No, he has to save the world. Don't be a little shit.
Crisis going on.
You think I don't know that? I saw one of my classmates crushed to death in a car last night.
I know. I'm sorry.
So you don't care if the same thing happens to us?
Of course.
You know, the acting in this is actually pretty decent, but it still kind of feels a little bit low budget. I think that's the issue that I had with this. It just feels low budget.
Shade, come on.
Also, I really like that kid because he very much has the exact style that I have in terms of how he dresses. With like sweatshirts, t-shirts, and jeans.
No. Take those earbuds off. Stay away from electronics. You will get electrocuted if an EM wave hits. I'm serious. It's dangerous. Get rid of it.
Lindenville residents are ordered to evacuate their homes and take shelter at Lindenville Parish. We repeat, all residents are...
Why are they telling everyone to go to church? Didn't Dad say it's dangerous to stay in town?
It is. Oh, they're gonna make them go back. Why though? Why does the government always try to keep people in the same locations? Like, it's not this, like this is like a zombie apocalypse. There's no worry of spread of this.
Road's closed. Supposed to take shelter in the parish.
Fuck you.
Going to Little Brook.
Fuck you. I hate the military. Fuck the military, man. I hate when they do these shitty movies. God forbid people try to save themselves. That's why I don't trust governments. Because they do not have your personal safety at mind. They don't. To them, you're a person who is ready to be sacrificed if it means others are gonna live. And here we are to the opening of the movie. I wonder, do you actually feel that? Do you even see it? Because it's clearly like meant to be seen by the audience, but can they see it in universe? How did you manage to survive that?
Yes, you can! Don't let go!
See how much better it looks when they use practical effects? Like that crevice, when you see the practical effect of it, it looks really cool. Man, you're really strong, dude. Yeah, we clearly would have seen her if that's where she fell.
Everyone for the mini.
About the president.
Still able to contact him?
Yeah, the emergency hotline's holding up.
Good. I've got a crazy idea.
I need to access Storm Hazard's mainframe.
Follow me.
Yeah, I think I remember what his crazy idea is.
Storm hazards.
Talk to me. I'm briefing the president in a few minutes.
James, the computer projection, it's not good.
Oh my god, I think I remember what's gonna happen! Oh my god, I think I remember.
We're here, the epicenter of the mini pole creating the electromagnetic and seismic disturbances. We need to move all of these people outside the circle to here.
Where did you get this information?
My husband, Dr. James Mayfield, he's a government astrophysicist. He's briefing the president right now.
I haven't heard anything about this. I mean, my orders are to keep everybody here.
I know, but I'm telling you, it's not safe here. Lindenville has become the magnetic center of a mini pole.
He doesn't understand, he's
What
just a
is that?
soldier.
Mini pole.
That's a bad idea! Don't turn that generator on. Don't turn that generator on.
No. Turn the power off. The electricity will attract the next EM pulse. You have to shut the generator down.
Shut it down. I don't think so.
You're not listening to me. We're in danger here.
Well, yeah, not only does he not know you, but you're also a woman. That definitely plays into it as well.
Map with a circle drawn on it.
You know what? Call General Mayfield. He'll vouch for everything I just said.
This is what the magnetic field normally looks like.
Jeez!
Right now, punctured by mini welds. This is 12 hours out, 24 hours out, 48 hours out.
2 days!
Field at 0 Gauss. Gentlemen, we have 2 days before our planet loses its protective shield. Solar radiation burns us all to a crisp.
I feel like the radiation would start killing people long before that too, you know?
So who's got a game plan to stop this pole reversal?
All right, this is the way I see it. What if we detonate a nuclear explosion of a magnitude equal to that with which the comet fragment hit Earth in the opposing hemisphere so that it pushes back with equal force?
Are you crazy?
How do we know it wouldn't make things worse? What about fallout?
Fallout?
You have no choice.
The
It
pole
can be
reversal
worse than
completes
this.
in 48 hours and then it is bye-bye planet. Does anybody else have a better idea?
Fair point.
That's what I thought.
James should be happy to know that the bomber is on its way. And 2 50-megaton warheads will launch at 1600 hours.
Oh yeah. It can't be that easy, can it?
Yes.
Okay.
What do you mean we lost the plane? Look, why would the soldiers keep us here if it isn't safe?
Because they don't know any better.
They don't know anything. They're just following their last orders. Communications have gotten so bad they can't even contact their superiors. I think we should go.
We're in.
Oh yeah, let's go.
Those poor people, I feel so bad leaving them.
You did everything you could, son.
True. You told them, they didn't want to listen. You're not responsible from this point
I have a
onwards.
new plan that just might work. We're going to detonate at the bottom of the ocean, the Mariana Trench, the deepest point in the Earth's crust.
Dr. Allen?
Yes, the ocean crust is thin enough that the blast can go right through to the lithosphere and yes, it could conceivably push the planet back into alignment.
How do you plan on getting there?
Submarine.
Unfortunately, Doctor, we don't have any that are operational.
What do you mean you don't have any that are operational?
EM interference crippled the onboard computers that control the nuclear reactors.
Are you telling me there's not a single sub out there?
That's right.
That's not exactly true, General. The Russians have an old diesel screw they still train on. She isn't pretty, but she's running. She's on the west coast.
Well, what lucky situation. The Russians and their diesel are gonna save the world. And everybody mocked them for their submarines, black smoke constantly coming up. How are you gonna manage to get it there in 2 days? You know how slowly those things move? I mean, I guess you're on the coast, you're not that far off, so... Stop the car!
What the heck is it, man? Paul's Tom. Get the engine down.
Now.
Stop the car right now.
If you want to keep that car moving, stop right now. Man, the environment in this movie looks so much like my country. It makes me feel fucking nostalgic. Well, he's dead. are they? All the subtle acting, I love it. Well, they're dead.
Can you drive? Sure.
He don't look so good. I don't think he feels so good either.
Check the engine.
We need to get my father to a hospital. What's wrong? He has a pacemaker. I think the storm shorted it out.
Shouldn't that have killed him? Like, everything electrical kills you, right? I'm pretty sure that should have killed him.
How are we doing? Good. Give it a try. Okay.
Lucky that the parts from the SUV fit. Is that a CGI submarine? It's so tiny. I wonder why did the Russians agree to it?
It is an honor, General Mayfield.
Captain Yolenko, this is Dr. James Mayfield.
Captain?
I see the resemblance. There are 2 warheads in the back of that truck.
We work together to save Volt, no?
Yes. Dr. Mayfield will formulate the detonation sequence.
My ship, she's strong as ox, but she's not so fast, you know.
Yes. We know.
It looks way too tiny of a submarine. You know, this is such a cool concept, but the budget is really fucking killing my enjoyment of it.
We passed it a few minutes ago. Maybe they have a hospital.
No, don't go back. I'm okay. Just get out of the circle.
We've got to get out of here fast.
Yep, they're striking quicker and quicker now.
Get out or I'll blow your head off.
Where the fuck did you come from?
Okay.
Everyone get out or I'll kill all of you.
And now he's gonna fucking ruin the car because he's an idiot. Oh man. It's so annoying that I can't really take this movie so seriously for some reason. It's just so low budget and campy, but it's trying to be so serious. It just doesn't work really well.
All this from rock hitting Earth? Well, technically the comet fragment was made of ice, but yes. In order to get a 100 megaton explosion, I need to formulate a detonation sequence just milliseconds apart.
You know, of course, that this vessel cannot outrun such a shock wave.
Yeah, he does.
We know.
Your crew, Captain. Do they know?
They have volunteered for this mission in order to save their families.
I somehow doubt that, but whatever. Let's go with that. Man, the background looks so pretty. I remember that hitting me very hard when I was a kid. It honestly still kind of hits me a little bit because it makes me want to tear up. But goddamn, look at the nature around. Looks so good. This is a place where I would want to live, you know?
You know you can't start a car without the battery.
Cars in the old days didn't have batteries. They used to be started by hand cranks.
Yeah, well, we don't have a hand crank, and this is a modern car.
You don't need a battery to drive either. All we need to do is capture an electrical charge that will help ignite the spark plugs.
Where are we gonna get that from?
The same thing that killed it. Smart. He very much goes after his father.
Have you ever seen anything like this?
No one has. We're witnessing a geological...
Can a submarine even survive there like a typical submarine, military submarine? Uh-oh.
We have lost one engine. Power will be 50%.
That's not good. Man, I really feel bad for her. Again, just like in Ghost Whisperers, girls and young women just get me emotionally for some reason, like seeing them cry. I just love this guy's Russian face. It's always like
100 meters from bottom. Almost in position.
it's always like this.
You cannot stay at this depth very long.
You have family, Captain.
Of course.
So we're gonna stay here as long as it takes. If we die from a crushed hull or shockwave, what difference does it make? If we fail, the whole world dies.
Man, the acting is so good. I really wish I was actually like this was actually quality movie.
We're on.
Shane?
Done. I've had it.
Get the hell out of there!
You need to move away, Shane.
Why are you cutting it so close, you douchebag? Just leave it, it's staying there. You don't need to tape it anymore.
I feel happy to die knowing it was to save family on the surface. But I am sad that you must die with your son.
Until a few days ago, I hadn't seen James in 5 years.
It will be impossible to outrun the shockwave with one engine, but at least we die trying.
Of course. Never give up. Never give in.
We just have to pray that one static charge has been trapped in the cylinder. Come on, baby. Yeah!
You're a genius.
You're a genius.
We've got the greatest show on earth here, Dad.
It's a scientist's dream, isn't it?
Man, the acting and the writing is good. It's just the low budget that is killing this movie for me, man.
Captain, if you could take us into that volcano, the steam funnel might propel us up out of the shockwave's path.
The hull is not designed for such temperatures. What have you got to lose?
At this point, nothing. But still. This is some barotrauma bullshit.
Brace yourselves.
Jesus. This is a ballsy move. That's really cool. I like this. You know, shouldn't this also cause a giant ass fucking tsunami? I know that it's a mild thing compared to what we're actually dealing with in terms of disasters, but still. It's a tsunami and Japan is gonna eat shit because of it.
Thanks to unprecedented cooperation between nations, we have survived the most catastrophic event to ever threaten our existence.
10 a.m. Perfect time. And finally,
I feel like it's very unlikely that it would bring it back to the exact location it was. Like it wouldn't bring the crust back to where it should be. Close to it maybe, but the exact spot? No. Okay. Stop. Okay. So that wasn't that great, not gonna lie. Obviously, during the editing process, I'm probably gonna enjoy this movie much more than I did during the recording of the reaction. But I don't know, it's like it just feels weak. It just feels weak and not impactful. Like I said, it feels like I think the budget is the biggest issue with this. It just feels like a low budget TV disaster movie, and you just can't do an epic disaster movie like that. You just can't. It just doesn't have the blockbuster vibe that it needs to. And I think that's kind of why it sucks for me, because the content of it is actually not bad. I think the acting is pretty good. I think the writing is pretty fine. Like, specifically, like, the dialogues and the character relationships, I think it's fine. But it's just the budget and the disasters and everything. It just doesn't feel as big and expansive as it should be. It feels, despite the disaster being such a world-ending one, it feels very low scale. Like, for the most part, we see the same exact roads, the same exact locations and everything. I definitely remember it feeling a little bit more expansive like that when I was a kid. But this just feels like a made-for-TV movie. And I don't think that works for disaster movies. I just don't think it works for disaster movies. Because I don't think the writing and acting was anything like, unlike something like The Walking Dead, for example. But I feel like just like doing a zombie apocalypse is just easier to do on the cheap, and it feels still real. Like, for example, there was this movie that I did a review on the channel. I think it was called Carriers, which was about a disease spreading around and killing people, and if you in any way touch anything that could be infected, you could die. And it was a very Walking Dead-esque in its visual execution kind of movie. I've done a review, like I said, but it's a good movie. You should check it out if you haven't. And that one felt very much like The Walking Dead, and it was still like very low budget, but it worked for the kind of movie that it was. This just doesn't work. I feel like it should have been just a bigger blockbuster-like movie. It just doesn't work with a low budget. Still, I think I enjoy it for the most part, but I cannot say that the lower budgetness of it didn't drag it for me. It's annoying. But again, I think a big part of why I guess I'm not as into it as I would have been if I was just watching it for myself and not just doing a reaction to it, is because I'm sitting down and doing a reaction. Because for one reason or another, whenever I'm doing reactions, I enjoy the things that I'm reacting to less than if I was just watching it for myself. It happened the same with one of the last movies that I checked out, which was The Curse of King Tut's Tomb. I'm currently in the processing of editing that movie's reactions, and it's been so much more enjoyable than when I watched it. So yeah, obviously a good movie is still gonna manage to be enjoyable despite the fact that I'm just sitting down and recording it. Because, like, for example, The Unborn was pretty good. You know, it was scary, just as scary as it would have been if I was just sitting on my little couch over there, which you guys can't see. And debatably, it was probably scarier for me to, like, as I was recording the reactions, but this movie is just very low budgeted, and again, it's fine. Like, there's no quality to it, quality issues with it. It's just the low scale caused by the low budget that I think is the issue of this movie. Yeah, I don't know. In terms of a rating, I think I'm going to go with kind of a solid 7.4 out of 10. Because, like I said, it's not a bad movie. I think the actual content of the movie is fine, but the bad CGI and, in general, the low budget just really, really drags it down. And the thing is, I don't remember it being anything different when I watched it as a kid. It still was like a low budget thing. Hell, I watched it on TV pretty much the same year that it was released, most likely. So, of course, it's going to be low budget, but I don't know. It's just kind of weak. Luckily, though, I think next time when we're watching a movie, I will be watching Dante Speak, according to my schedule. You know, well, give me a second to check whether that was the next movie that we're gonna be checking out, because I'm pretty sure it was. Yeah, the next movie that I'm gonna be checking out is gonna be Dante Speak, so that one is definitely gonna be better, with better special effects as well, so I'm excited for that one. But I think that's gonna be it for this one. But I am curious, how did it manage to come through during the reaction? Did you guys enjoy it? Comment all your thoughts down below and let's have a discussion about this. And also, before we end this video, I just want to give a huge shout out to my currently 5 patrons on Patreon. Omar Bridgman, Deadpool, Corvidet, Drew, and Rin. Thank you guys for your support, I really appreciate it. It really means a lot to me. You have decided to support me, have continued to support me such a long time. Hope you continue to enjoy my content and continue to support me going forward. Thank you very much. Hope you guys enjoyed this video, and if you did, please leave a like, subscribe. Also, check out the link in the description to my Wattpad where I post my stories, because in addition to doing all these videos on my channel, I'm also a writer. And if you don't enjoy my stories or simply enjoy my videos, you can head over to my Patreon or to my Coffee account where you can pledge your support and help get the channel going, help support me so I can keep writing stories you enjoy. But if you don't want to do any of that, that's completely fine. You can still help me out in other ways, like liking this video, subscribing to the channel, and especially sharing this video with someone who you think might enjoy it. And I think it's pretty much it for this video, so hopefully I'm gonna see you in the next one. Bye!